So we are in strong support of House Bill 661, and we hope that the committee will pass the bill. I am happy to take any questions. Thank you very much.
Gosh, I got to think of something.
That's
Thank you so much.
sure. Thank you.
Next up is Robert Tanguay. And you, sir, have 3 minutes and 17 seconds because you were so on the good clock last time. Remember I told you you had 17 seconds in the bank? So 3:17 for you, sir.
Mr. Chair, I'd appreciate some interest on that. Inflation is very high. My name is Robert Tanguay. I don't know too much about this bill, but I was listening to the testimony. And I'm kind of getting warmed up for what's going to be happening in the future today. I'm the author of New Hampshire Oliver Twist, and if you guys have read or heard of Oliver Twist, it's a story about an orphan who is abused by everybody who is around him with officials. The gentleman's, young gentleman's testimony earlier was very relevant to what's going on. I mean, I'm looking at a U.S. debt clock, and I don't know if the committee knows that every single citizen in this room, everybody has $75.6 thousand in debt. So that young gentleman was born with $76,000 in debt. And then when you look at a family of three that owns a house with half the equity, and the average house price is $500,000, a person who has a family is actually in the positive. I didn't get that. Luckily, I had a mother, and I'm very thankful for that. So what we have with this bill, it seems like they're intercepting, the state is intercepting funds and taking it away from the people who actually deserve it. We're born with equal access to all of the state's resources and the country's resources. And I think that that's something that's very important for a young disadvantaged youth to be able to have available, or a foster parent to have available, so that they can go spend it at Canopy Lake and give the child something that, and then it goes into our economy. So it's really just redirecting the funds to the state, which is, I believe, the state's largest employer is the state, and then taking it away from disadvantaged youths. I will ask for some leniency on my time, and I don't think that there are any questions that need to be asked. I will note that I watched every 0.5 seconds the national debt go up $16,000. Thank you.
Put 47 seconds in Mr. Tanguay's bank. Chair recognizes Robert Tanguay, who has 3 minutes and 47 seconds. You're really building it up there, my friend.
The power of compound interest. I will allow someone else to make my introduction.
Concord Police Emergency. Hi, I'm on Roger 196. I have a caller on the line located at number 2 Pillsbury Street, Suite 300 in Concord.
I don't think we can hear it.
This is the Bar Association. So what we're hearing is a police call from the Bar Association where I went to go get help. And they called the police on me, and it's documented. But
it's an individual that they've identified that they don't want to do business with, but he was
an individual they don't want to do business with, a pro se litigant.
Yep, that's all accurate.
Okay, what's the business?
The business is the New Hampshire Bar Association.
New Hampshire Bar Association.
And who is this person?
His name is Robert Tanguay,
Tanguay. That's me.
Okay.
And they're going to say they're afraid of me.
So it's just, do you want to trespass him?
Well, we don't know that he's left the building. They just want to make sure he's safe for people.
Okay, so they don't
Sorry,
know what left the building.
You're not sure if he's left the building, and then what?
We don't know that he's left the building, and we want to make sure it's safe for our people.
Safe for our people.
Okay. Can you elaborate on why it wouldn't be safe?
Why wouldn't it be safe?
Well, he's had repeated contacts with our office, and his name and picture are posted on bulletin board of people.
His
that
name?
don't want.
And picture are posted on a bulletin board. Robert Tanguay. Haven't seen my kid in over 2 years. No arrests, nothing. Some of you people have not even I guess except for the state trying to arrest me. And I've been before this general court many times, and also did the same tactic that the Domestic Violence Coalition. So I oppose this bill, and I ask that I get a couple extra minutes. If not, I do request that you guys do ask me questions, because I'm a wealth of knowledge. I've read the family courts. I've read all the statutes, including 546A:5, which requires the judge to shall consider assets and determining child support. Now, the system that we have in New Hampshire, this bill won't pass. We need to repeal 173B, which is domestic violence, which is being used to weaponize at the benefit of lawyers and federal grant money the courts. Fictitious domestic violence petitions. I have also video that I can send to you for the latest court hearing, because I record all the court hearings with permission, where the judge, after having the defendant laugh, said that the police tell people to go to court to get a restraining order. So when you look at the hierarchy of evidence, probable cause is what's required for a police officer to apply for a warrant. Preponderance of the evidence, which is higher standard, is required for a domestic violence petition. So what we have is really a racket of lawyers, lawyers who are making money and advocating laws, including the Domestic Violence Coalition, which has spent over $10,000 last year in advocating for laws. And it's all in public record. So I know you guys can't rehear my case, and we really have a problem with the Supreme Court. So we're going to the people who are not able to help. Judges write lies. That's why we need a jury. We could just simply repeal this, or repeal the family courts, and then it would go back to the way it was before. We wouldn't have to do anything. But I think we also need to repeal, if we really want to get the change, and people, because these people haven't been heard. I haven't been heard. That's the problem. And
Mr. Tanguay, I think we're going to cut you off here because of time, but you said you would answer a couple questions. I hope briefly. Does anybody have a couple of questions?
on suggestions I have to make the bill better might help you.
I will give you one more minute because you're one of my frequent flyers.
Thank you, sir. Okay, so we need a jury, mandatory. That is not a waivable right unless it is told to someone. So when we waive rights or waive rules, that needs to be like, you should be allowed to object to it. So we need a jury. We need to repeal 173B. It's unconstitutional. The police are supposed to make an arrest. And then we also need to repeal judicial sovereign immunity, which is unconstitutional anyways, Article 8. The state of New Hampshire, you guys need to read your constitutions and base laws upon this. I suggest that this committee does go forward with this bill, but examines it in maybe a subcommittee to finally resolve this issue because it's hurting our children. It's that simple.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate much.
Any questions?
No.
Thank you. I'll send you all the materials.
Appreciate
God
that.
bless.
Chair represents former State Representative Leah Cushman for 3 minutes.